different culture I'm in, where I'm speaking a different language, I feel like an entire new part of me has come alive. It's, and I think that's part of my excitement about being back here in Brazil.
Right.
Is there's a different Michael
Yes.
who's Brazilian, and it's like, yeah,
I can even hear it.
So it gets to come alive again.
I can even hear it. Imagine this in the way you speak English when you're which part of the world you're in. You're like, because that's a different guy speaking the same language. When you speak English in Africa,
Right,
you
right.
speak a different one.
Right. And there's so many like guys back home who imagine they're not just feeling like they're resigned to this modern lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
They're also resigned to like one identity and
Yes.
one way of seeing the world, one language, especially Americans.
Wow. One way of dating.
Yeah, one way of
Resigned to one way.
yes. And this is like what's come alive. Is there's new worlds out here.
Exactly.
And for me, like Africa was like, holy shit, there's a whole other world. That's what I felt like when I went to Africa. It's like, wait a second. And there was like, and a new me was coming alive.
Right.
And more like, that's just a piece in itself. That was such a revelation.
Right.
And when I see a lot of people traveling, like Americans traveling, and they go to like these American resorts in these other countries, and they take the American vacations and like all of this, they're not actually exploring that other world or that other culture and language and country,
Bring their own.
and they're not. A new part of them isn't coming alive. It's the same them, just like going to Disneyland or going to a new place in the States, and it's such a limit. It's not a critique on them. It's just like, man, what they're missing that could be.
Well, it's in a way, it's what tourism does in compared to travel.
Right.
And travel is an invitation into becoming a new you.
Yes.
I love what you just said. Is that this seems to bring it together? That they're resigned to a certain way of living. I forgot where I was going to start. They're resigned to a certain way of living. They're resigned to to be in one person. They're resigned to be in one, But they can feel there's something else. And what we're inviting them into is to explore a different you. Explore and see the aliveness that comes from that. Oh, this is what it was. When I traveled, this ties in with you. When I traveled, before I went to Africa, I traveled quite a bit already. And I had parts of me coming alive, just because of the travel. But when I went to Africa, it was that animalistic part of me that totally, like, I've seen different ways, like this, the spectrum was in front of me,
Yes.
And it was like, when I went to Africa, so you're looking in front of you and you see the whole world, South America, Asia, Europe, America. And then I went to Africa and I'm like, holy fuck, I look behind me and then there's like 50% more,
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
This animalistic side of
Yes.
it. Whoa.
Yes.
And that's after traveling so much already.
Yes.
And I still, and what the fuck?
Yes.
So I think that's a great way of what we're inviting guys into, is to invite them into discovering a different part of them, that they know it's there.
Yes.
You don't have to become someone else. It's a part of you. Discover your aliveness. Discover, all the other stories you can tell. Discover who you can be.
Yeah, and he often talked about like undoing and not doing